imagine you're in school and you spend every single day in the same room with the same people. This is in this room for lunch, activities, your education, many different things. I feel like most of us could agree that would feel a lot like this picture. Everyone's all around you, but you're in your own little bubble in your own little world. And I also think that many of us can agree that over the last 5 or so years, we've gotten a pretty good idea of what it means to be isolated, and I don't think many of us liked it. So unfortunately, this is the case for a lot of self-contained students with severe disabilities. They are kind of in their own little area, in their own little bubble, just every single day. This can seem very isolating, especially if you work in self-contained or special education. You kind of know what I mean. And this is why I think that schools should be required to offer more structured opportunities for SPED students, especially self-contained students, to participate in activities with the general population of the school. The problem with how many schools are structured today is that self-contained seems to be out of sight, out of mind. And I know some of you work in special education, and I feel like you probably know what I mean. So because of the lack of inclusion, this causes a lack of social developmental opportunities and skills that these kids really need to progress and be more successful in life, as well as segregation, which may not be even intentional by the schools, but because of the environment that has become the norm, it ends up causing a segregation issue. There's many reasons why this has become an issue, but first of all, there's not enough policies in education to tell us how to handle inclusion. Yes, we have many laws, regulations about how to handle education and academic inclusion. However, when it comes to social inclusion, getting these kids just involved socially, there's just not as much out there to tell the teachers or administrators especially how to involve these kids in the normal school environment. So it ends up just being a school by school basis where it's just up to whoever's in charge, and it just kind of depends on who you have. Additionally, gen ed teachers, administrators, and other people in education, they just don't have enough training. They're not immersed in the world of special education enough. They don't understand the daily struggles and concerns that come along with working with children with severe disabilities. They don't understand what goes on every single day in a classroom and how every single day can be completely different. And unfortunately, this does start at the college level. Some classes in general education and special educations do overlap with major classes, but most general education teachers are not getting a real look at what special education looks like, and they have kind of blinders on when it comes to what these children are dealing with, what they're capable of. It causes a lack of understanding, and with gen ed teachers, it causes a lack of questioning what is inclusion even supposed to look like in the classroom. Some think that nonverbal means that the child doesn't understand what's going on around them in the world. Some think that that means that they're not capable of participating in certain activities. Some think that aggressive behavior is a correlation to how smart a child is and what they're cognitively capable of. And all of this has caused a lack of understanding and inclusion in schools because people just don't know. So how can we fix this? First of all, we need more training at the college level. And this goes for both gen ed and special education. According to the U.S. National Center for Education Statistics, around 60% of students with disabilities will go into a regular general education classroom at some point during their day. Now, this is not the average. Many schools are much lower than this, especially in more rural areas. But this also does not just include self-contained students, it includes students under the entire umbrella of SPED. What this means is that at some point during their career, most general education teachers will have a child with disabilities in their classroom at some point. Another way that we can help is to encourage peer support groups. Now, this can involve general education students without disabilities and special education students working together and participating in activities together, just interacting, socializing, getting to know each other. According to inclusiveschoolsnetwork.org, this has a big impact on not just the special education students, but also the gen ed students. For the special education students, it helps to encourage their communication skills that they need to be successful in life. And also, it just allows them to make friendships and build relationships and socialize, and when they might not have been able to do that otherwise. For the general education students, they also benefit from this. It allows them to see people with disabilities, see people who are different from them, and gain a respect for all students. It also gives them a better understanding of what diversity and inclusion looks like, and has also been known to reduce bullying in a lot of schools. Finally, schools need to provide more activities appropriate for all students. Many times, some activities may not be conducive to special education students, especially self-contained. The environment may be too loud or too crowded. There may be loud music. It may not be fully handicap accessible. So there's many reasons why it may not be fully accessible to all students in the school. This also results in more isolation, less interaction with their peers, and not all activities may be able to be 100% inclusive, but our schools need to be working better to try to include all students. So we've looked at what the major problem is. We've looked at possible solutions and how it can benefit our kids. Now, we all need to go out and work together to make a change. Educators, students, parents, friends, family, and even lawmakers must all work together, and we need to open these doors both figuratively and literally, and that will in turn open up opportunities for these children to have just more opportunities that they normally do not get. Inclusion is not a privilege, it is a right for all students, and we really need to start treating it that way. Thank you.